Hello and welcome in this overview of face-to-face Autopose legs, which is a set of tools dedicated to make the process of posing legs and foot much easier. You will find several utilities which are scripts, such as opening the documentation, changing the convergence settings, activating the face selection, creating a target, storing fit status, restoring angles of the feet, posing the legs, and creating an offset for the figure. All these scripts can be installed in a menu or a toolbar using the convergence settings script and using the install update all script in a menu and a toolbar. A lot of scripts can work with target. In order to create a target, it's very easy. You choose the activate face selection, which can be done here, and this is explained in the documentation. So here I select, for instance, let's have a look, this face, and I ask for the creation of a target this way. This is this little plane here, which is invisible in render and in simulation. Okay, now that I have my target, I can select a part of my shoe, for instance. It can be the foot if you prefer, but here I use the shoe. And I'm gonna simply ask that the right leg of the figure goes on the target. Okay. So here you saw a little jump in the convergence because there was a jumble lock which is solved by the software. So now the target is pretty easy to use. Here it's too small to be selected, yet I made it bigger than usually in other face-to-face products, but sometimes it's not enough. So I'm going to increase the scale of the target so that we can move it more easily. Scale. Okay, it doesn't matter. So I can push my target a little bit forward, or I could create another target, but here I'm just going to push it a bit forward. Okay. Select the shoes, and once again autopose the leg. Okay. And here you see that there is an issue with the foot angle with the floor. I'm gonna hold on the escape key to stop the convergence. That's important. Otherwise, when you move things, the convergence still goes on as a backward progress. Okay, so press escape when you have a doubt if it's finished or not. I'm going to undo what I just did. All right. And what I'm going to do is to still select the shoes and hold on the shift key, as I'm launching the script. Okay, and this time, at each iteration, the foot angle will be recalculated so that it's the same as the original foot angle within the limits of the foot rotations. If you exceed limits, it doesn't work anymore. So I hold on the escape key to make sure that the process is over. Okay, this escape key is not always necessary. You can be helped by the convergence settings to make shorter convergences. Okay, and so this time the foot angle, okay, was reset as the original foot angle. Okay, so are you forced to select faces? The answer on the figure, I mean, or on his shoes. The answer is no. You can select no faces. Here, for instance, I'm just going to select the right leg of the figure. It's gonna completely ignore the shoes, okay? And I'm going to use, so the right leg is selected, I'm going to use the autopose leg script, okay? And it's placing my foot. It's much faster here. Because I don't have to find where are the selected faces in space at each iteration, which costs a lot of time. And you say, oh yes, but there is an issue because the foot is in the stair. That's right. So two things you can do. You can set an offset on the target plane. This way, a small offset, okay? And relaunch the autopose. Not enough, so you can set up a bigger offset, relaunch the autopose. Okay, that's what you can do. I'm gonna undo the latest operation, including the offset. Okay, another thing you can do is to say, okay, I exactly know, or I guess that the thickness of my tools to shoe is, let's say, 2.5 centimeters. So I set up here in the convergence a 2.5 centimeter offset, and I select anywhere on the right leg, okay, and go in pose leg, and it's gonna be posed with an offset. And when you know your offset for a given pair of shoe, it's okay. Let's say 3 centimeters. Okay, I don't know if it's enough. Oh yeah, 3 centimeters is okay. So I already showed you the shift key, which allowed you to keep the exact foot orientation in space when you combine it with this script. Now I'm going to show you the control key, which allows you to use only the altitude, height, I don't know how to say this, of the target instead of its exact location. So let's have a look. I'm going for this, create a new target. I don't have a ground, so I load a target this way. I take it in my scene. That's the second target plane. I'm going to scale it to see it better. Okay, it's here. This is my second target plane. Now, if I use the postscript, what will happen is that the foot is going to go in the center of this target plane, so exactly on the underfoot. That's not what I want. So what I can do is to move my target, okay? But that's not what I'm gonna do here. Here I'm gonna first select my first target plane to say that I want to go here with my foot. I do this because I want to keep the orientation. I'm gonna select the leg. Okay, and I use shift here on the first target plane, which is going to bring my foot here, okay, with the right foot orientation. And it's a bit too much on the right. I'm gonna scale it up to catch it more easily, okay. Okay, I'm gonna place it there, take my leg, use shift and go to the first target plane. Okay, that's okay. And now I am going to use control to go down to the second target plane. Control means that I take the X and Z location of my selected surfaces or of the two's origin, if I have selected no faces, and I keep them all along the process if I can, and I push my foot back to the altitude of the plane, of this plane. So let's do this. I'm going to use Control and Shift in order to keep also the foot orientation, but of course you can use only the Control key. So let's go to the second target plane. Okay, and here we are. That's done. The foot is posed. So you can do this with selected faces, but actually working with twos and an offset, which is still 3 centimeters. That's it. Is faster. Using faces is better when you want to pose while converging. So we can use also to be more efficient or to work differently the store file, okay, which stores some information on the foot in the data folder, and it can be used in a standalone way with the restore, okay. and this restores the sum of the angles of the foot. Actually, it restores the height between the foot and the tooth node, and between the, let's say, left toe and right toe node. So it acts only on the bend and the twist, leaving the side available for you. For instance, here you may want another pose which is more twisted, and I can restore this, and it's placed differently, and I can do side this way, and it's placed differently. The side is totally free for you. Okay, you see it does not move here. Only the bend and twist change. So this is the restore, and it works on both feet, of course, and it also restores the morphs called, what's the name? This one, okay. It also restores this parameter. So here it was at 0, but if it's not at 0, this would be restored too. And now I restore the foot, and that's it. I think. Let's say I have the morph activated. You see, it comes back to 0 because it was recorded at 0. So this can be used to place up the foot back on the ground. So I do this, I look at the position it would have. It would be this one, why not? Okay. And I use both leg on the second target plane. Wait a bit, okay. And I restore the foot angles. So the plane is the restore tends to move the foot a bit too low in the ground. I'm gonna try to control shift the post control leg to raise it up, or maybe I just add an offset if necessary. Okay, no, that's good. So control shift to keep the angle that I currently have. Okay. You see here it does not move because it kept the angle that was restored just before. Okay. So let's say now the ground is not here, but there. Okay. And you want to offset your figure. So you can do this by simply offset the figure to the target. Okay, this way. Well, yes, that's a way to offset the figure to the target. So if you have to change, if your figure is set up too low or too high, and you know exactly on which altitude on which face you want to place it, you just do this and offset to target, and you can choose which leg you want to offset to the target. Let's move this up. I hope I'm not going to delete completely the pose. I'm annoyed. Okay, let's move this up. Okay, and here I want the figure, so I'd select my left leg and choose the second target plane to say that it's the left part that I want to be on the target, with an offset of 3 centimeters. I can restore, okay, and do it like this, okay. What else? Oh yeah, you can use faces too. So either on the foot or on the. So I activate the same face selection, select the shoes, take this and offset figure to target, second target, and it's my left leg, obviously. I have an offset of 3 centimeters. The offset that I use because I worked with the tools without selecting faces. No, I don't want to see it anymore, so I put it at 0 and reapply select my shoes, sorry, since the faces are selected on my shoes, and use the second target plane, left leg. Okay, on the left, you see, these are the selected faces, cutting exactly the plane. What else? Yes, you're not forced to select faces on the shoes. Let's hide the shoes. Scene tab, it's here now. So let's hide this. I can select also on the two, so I'm going to make my plane not selectable and invisible for now. So let's select the Nathan 9, okay, the 2s, and now I just have to launch, where is Nathan? It's here. The choose will be, the leg will be also automatically chosen as soon as the face is selected on the foot. So I offset it to target. Okay, this is simply an offset, and if I want, I can pose it at the altitude of the first target plane. That's very, very, very flexible. Up. So what you saw here at the beginning, the kind of beat jog was the gimbal unlock. Okay, because there are sometimes gimbal lock. So you see, it's at, if you get from left view, it's at the altitude of this plane here. You see it better if I enlarge this. Okay, the selected faces. Nathan. The selected faces are just here, and they cut exactly the target plane. Which target planes which are invisible in render and invisible in simulation. As you see here. Okay, one thing that I wanted to show you is the pose while converging. So you have to select faces. I'm gonna select faces here. Where? It does not really matter. I'm gonna go in, not this one. Wire texture shaded. Okay, I'm select off maybe this one, all right. And it's necessary to have a face selected either on the shoe or on the foot. And the converged settings must be okay. So here the delay is very small, and if it converges fast, we won't have the time to pause while converging. So you can increase the delay, or you can use this, for instance, but you can also do manually, change the delay, change the max iterations, and keep them in distance very, very, very small. Okay, and let's pose this leg. So as it's on the shoe, it's gonna ask me which leg I want to process. If it's on the feet, it knows which leg must be processed. And if you select nothing, you have select either a right leg or in the scene, or something on the left leg. So here it's my left leg, okay. So here it posed, but I don't like the pose of it. So I'm going to see. I rotate the twists. I have not really a lot of choices on the twists. Maybe if I have more choices on the side. So you see, when you move the sliders, or when you do this like this, it's still working. So this way you can adjust your pose while the script is calculating, and when you're happy, you hold on the escape key, and that's done. That's all. You can do a very extreme pose, which are not often easy to do. For instance, when the legs are crossed, are very high, you mean, I show you, okay, like this one. So this is it's difficult for it to converge on it, because I think I must be on the limits. I'm gonna push down a bit. No, not this thing. I undowed here. I'm gonna push up until you see the behavior it had. It's because it reached the limit, and then that's too much for him. Okay. So here you go just below the limit, and it's gonna converge again. Okay. It's a very extreme pose, and it's still converging until you press escape. Or no, it stopped because here it lasted a while. And you can do the same with the other leg. So let's do the same with the other leg. Up, up. Okay, why not? And I'm gonna move the target on the other side to the other side, and select, not all, select the shoes, since the faces are on the shoes, are selected on the shoes, and pose this time the right leg. And here we are. You see, very easy to pose it this way. And if you consider, for instance, that, oh, this is too much in interaction in this area, you just have to lower a bit. Lower a bit, yes, well, or make it a bit higher, or make it a bit, yes, in this dimension. So you just have to move, and it keeps the feet in place, or trying to reach the target as you process your pose. Very easy.